Alrighty, what is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here back with another video. And in this one, some surprising news here on Wednesday, only 4 days after his release. The New England Patriots are re-signing defensive back Jalen Mills. Now, this obviously, like I said, comes as a bit of a surprising move because they released him. It was a big move. It was big news in the league, big news in Patriots world because obviously they're lacking in the secondary, whether that's cornerback, whether that's safety, whether that's height, which I'll break down a little bit later on in this video. And just 4 days later, they decided to bring him back. Obviously, within that time period between releasing him and re-signing him, we've heard that the Patriots brought in Taylor Rapp. They were interested in him. I actually have heard as far to go as they've actually offered Taylor Rapp a contract offer. How much truth there is to that, I'm not 100% sure, but it is a report that I did hear going around. Obviously, with this move, it does make it less likely that Taylor Rapp is re-signed because Jordan Schultz is reporting the Patriots re-signing Jalen Mills to a 1-year deal worth up to $6.1 million. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Up to $6.1 million doesn't mean he's going to make $6.1 million. Doesn't mean it's $6.1 million against the cap. It's not fully guaranteed. We don't know exactly the terms of it, but obviously the Patriots bringing him back on just a 1-year deal. Looking at the kind of contracts and the terms that they've given other guys this offseason, it's been, hey, we'll give you a higher value contract. You can make a good amount, but we're not going to make that all guaranteed. It's going to be based off of you, how much ultimately you make, based off incentives, based off of how you play, based off of how much you play, because your best ability is availability, especially in Bill Belichick's mind. So before we get into today's video, though, and the details of this move, I do want to say, if you guys are not already a Patreon member, become a Patreon member. We've been growing pretty steadily, I would say, over the last few months here on Patreon, getting some more guys in. And obviously, the more people we have in Patreon, the bigger discussions there are, the better discussions there are. And we talk in our Patreon Discord chat every day. Like, there is not an hour that goes by that chat is not bumping with news and opinions. And if you have a question for me or just a question in general regarding the Patriots or just any NFL news, head to the Discord chat and we will all break it down. It's a lot of fun we have. We break down, like I said, all news, not just Patriots, but just kind of moves that are happening around the NFL, especially if they impact the Patriots one way or another. Like I said, too, people who are Patreon members also will get access to when I go live here on YouTube. Not every single live stream that I have, but definitely a good portion of them. You'll have the ability, if you're a Patreon member, to come on the channel live and voice your opinion to really everybody. You'll cement yourself on this channel forever. And we will also be having yet again another draft day watch party where for the first round, you guys come join me live on the channel and we watch from beginning to end the first round of the NFL draft and react to the picks together. So McGoat, I think, was our most recent Patreon member to join. So shout out to McGoat and shout out to all my other guys there on the Patreon too. If you guys do want to become a Patreon member, like always, link in the description below. That is the best way to support the channel. You guys get benefits in return, and for just $10 a month, literally just $10 a month, you guys can help support the channel. So big shout out to all my Patreon members. Like I said, if that does interest you, it's going to be a link in the description below. It's going to be the first link. But like I said, let's hop into the video. Now, the New England Patriots bringing back Jalen Mills, we knew that they had something in mind with this move when they originally released him. I just don't think any of us thought that move was going to be bringing back Jalen Mills. Now, I liked the idea of keeping Jalen Mills around this year because, again, he's going to give you height. He's really your only cornerback 6 foot or taller. I know you're going to say Shaun Wade. I don't think Shaun Wade makes the final roster. That's just me. So him bringing his height to training camp or the preseason really does not matter for me. My eyes are on the 2023 season. The Patriots need to add height. Jalen Mills does bring height. I think he's like 6 foot, 6'1". around that area. So he does bring height, and he is your tallest cornerback. Whether the Patriots wanted to use him at corner or safety was up to them, but I thought that there was 100% a role for Jalen Mills and a starting role at that. And I was excited to potentially see him at safety this year just because that's the best place that he was when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, which, if you don't know, before the Patriots signed him, that's where he spent his career. That's where he started his NFL career, was with the Eagles, and then signs that 4-year contract with the Patriots. So, even when Jalen Mills originally came to New England, we thought he was going to serve as a rover, a guy that does not just play at one position, but plays everywhere. And since he's gotten here, he's only played at outside cornerback. He has the ability to do so, but if you want to utilize the best out of Jalen Mills, it's going to be as a safety and it's going to be as a rover role. You even look at his numbers with the Philadelphia Eagles the year before he left the Patriots. So joined the Patriots in 2021. These are statistics from 2020 with the Eagles. He primarily was a box safety. A lot of people are like, oh, well, he played safety and he was a free safety. He's played free safety, but he was mainly a box safety. There's a difference. The guys who play box safety for us are like a Kyle Duggar, a Jabril Peppers. That would be like the best role there for Jalen Mills. But he can still play free safety. I like the idea of him playing free safety. But in 2020, he played 35.2% of defensive snaps, or his defensive snaps, at box safety with the Philadelphia Eagles. He played 23.3% as a free safety, played perimeter cornerback 22.4%, and also played slot corner 18% of the time, and also lined up along the line of scrimmage about 3.8% of the time. So again, 2020, he played that exact rover role with the Philadelphia Eagles, and that was his best season so far. Now, he was a jack of all trades that year. He put up pretty decent statistics. He had 8 quarterback disruptions with 1.5 sacks, 3.5 quarterback hits, and 3 hurries with a forced fumble, finished with 74 total tackles, 41 against the run. Again, you look at those statistics, you look at what Jalen Mills has brought to the Patriots over his last couple years and his tenure with us. He's been the best at stopping the run. And I'm going to bring up some of his statistics here. In 2021 with the Patriots, when he did play a full season with us, 16 total games, it could have been worse, but he was not the best. We had J.C. Jackson at the time, who was our CB1. So keep in mind, Jalen Mills was playing between CB2 to CB3, and these numbers are already not great. He let up 7 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns in 2021 for us. He allowed a completion percentage, not too bad, of 56.9%, but gave up 406 yards. The problem with Jalen Mills was consistency, right? Like, only allowing a completion percentage of 56% is not bad, but it's the thing that, he would barely allow receptions or yards or big plays to a receiver and shut them down for most of the game. But then the next play, he's letting up a 56-yard touchdown. The next play, he's letting up, a 35-yard gain on 4th down. It's just at the worst moments, Jalen Mills was not showing up for the Patriots, and it was those inconsistencies that really inflate these numbers. Not to mention his missed tackle percentage was the second worst of his career with the Patriots in 2021. A missed tackle percentage of 11.3%. For me, once it gets 10% or higher, I start to be concerned, and that's an area in which it needs to be addressed. His worst missed tackle percentage was his rookie year with 16%, but since then, 6.8, 10.8, and then 11.3 with the Patriots in 2021. This past year, he appears in 10 games, so those numbers are already going to be lower because he was dealing with an injury, dealing with that groin injury. But missed tackle percentage was not as bad, only 6.1 total missed tackle percentage. He allowed up a total of 2 touchdowns, a completion percentage of 60, 378 yards. So he was already on track to give up more yards, but probably was not going to give up as many touchdowns and had a better tackle percentage. So it's kind of give and take, especially when he was playing as more of a CB1. He was asked to have a bigger role while he was actually able to be on the field for the Patriots. And another stat I want to bring up, which I know not a lot of people are going to look and be like, okay, Patriots go, but really, he had a passer rating allowed of 79.2 this past year. While Jalen Mills was on the field, I do think that he took a leap forward. I think if we look at Jalen Mills playing a full season, we say, you know what? He was very solid for the Patriots in 2022. In 2021, though, it's a different story. And keep in mind, he played a full season that year. But in 2021, on top of the other statistics I told you, he led up a passer rating of 114.6. The question is, are you going to get a Jalen Mills who played a full season but gave up those statistics in 2021? Or are you going to get a more improved version that we saw of Jalen Mills in 2022, but obviously did not play a full season? Now, Jordan Schultz, like I said, did report that he is switching to safety. I'd imagine that that's going to be free safety. That's the only area in which the Patriots really need help at. Which means, obviously, like I said, the Patriots still are going to need some help at cornerback. They're specifically going to need some height at cornerback. I could see the Patriots kind of maneuvering some guys throughout the free safety role, whether that's John Jones at times, whether that's Miles Bryant at times, whether that's Jalen Mills at times. But I think the Patriots' best bet would be have a full-time free safety back there, and then go ahead and draft a cornerback high, whether that's in the first round or the second round of this draft. I think that is your best move. I know a lot of people want Jordan Battle. I don't think it's necessarily out of the question, but I don't see the Patriots going, cornerback in the first round and then safety in the second round and going back-to-back defensive back picks. I just don't see it. Like I said, I do think that we'll get a better version of Jalen Mills at safety than we did cornerback. He's a guy that isn't very fast, only 4.6 speed. A lot of people didn't like the idea of Taylor Rapp because of his speed. Jalen Mills isn't that far off, maybe a little faster, but seriously not that far off at all in terms of speed. If he can lower that missed tackle rate and have, what did I say his missed tackle rate was last year? 6.1%. Then I think he's going to ball out as a safety. As a safety, I'm not worried about speed. I'm more worried about your ability to stop the run, play zone, and tackle. Those are my three biggest things for you. When you're playing free safety, a lot of times you're not playing strict man-to-man coverage, especially on the perimeter. You got to be able to play zone. You got to be able to have good instincts, and you have to tackle, be able to come downfield and make your presence known in the run game. And Jalen Mills, year after year after year, has always been consistent and very, very good at stopping the run. So that's an area that I'm really excited to see, and an area that, honestly, between Miles Bryant or Jonathan Jones, he's probably going to be our best option there at safety, especially because the Patriots are going to need John Jones at cornerback. And I'm actually hearing that this move now isn't even a release, that supposedly this entire time Jalen Mills was never actually released from the Patriots, and that this is now a restructure and not so much a re-signing. But Mills had 2 years left on his contract, and now is going to be in contract year for the Patriots as they're restructuring it from a 2-year deal to a 1-year deal. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. I always appreciate you guys for watching, and go Pats.